Okay, so I think I'm going to start out with the ad because we have a new sponsor. This is like 2 sponsors in 3 weeks, something like that. Anyway, we have a new sponsor. Wood Grain Gaming creates custom-made gaming accessories from wood in their own wood workshop in the Netherlands. They have an assortment of dice boxes and a variety of luxury woods, but are also creators of the Box of Holding, a unique kit for tabletop role-playing games which holds all your dice, all your minis, a notebook, and pencils. It doubles as a dice tray, and the lid has a magnetic tracker which tracks all of your fast-changing stats, and it's optimized for D&D 5e. As Wheel of Time lovers themselves, they were really excited to have done a custom engraved Wheel of Time themed dice box recently, and in the process discovering a whole Wheel of Time role-playing community, and that there's going to be a TV series. Nice. Go check out Wood Grain Gaming's creations at woodgraingaming.etsy.com or follow them on their social medias. At Wood Grain Gaming on Twitter, Wood Grain Gaming on Facebook and Instagram, and their email is info@woodgrain.eu. And I'm legitimately thinking about purchasing something for myself.
It's just a matter of picking which thing to get is the problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Really.
I already bought mine.
or how many of the things is sort of my problem.
I couldn't wait. I've got that hexagonal box with the dragon chapter
You got
heading.
one already?
The dragon chapter heading, which is the same as my tattoo.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do they have any spalted?
It should be here tomorrow.
Wow, when did you order it? That was fast.
Remember when I told you to hold off on ordering it?
Yes.
You didn't hold off on ordering it, did you?
No, I did not.
God. You're so terrible. You are so terrible.
I did see my little devil horns. I was the one with no impulse control this time.
Oh my God.
Shocker. I am shocked and flabbergasted and will immediately be purchased.
Neil looks as confused as I feel.
I really wanted that box for my dice.
No, like legitimately, I will be getting a dice tray because it is a nice confined area to roll your dice in. If you're one of those players who believes in dice jails, some of their boxes even come with a little dice jail, so you can put your dice. You can put your dice in dice jail.
They do, and you can customize so much. You can customize the wood. You can customize the felt that's inside, and it's very cool. They're very customizable. You guys are gonna want to throw up from all the pictures I'm gonna post.
Oh my God. I need one. Yeah, I had both my Twitter accounts like arguing about getting one or getting 2 because I have 2 Twitter accounts, right? So that justifies getting 2 because, options.
Yes.
You have too many Twitter accounts.
It's entirely for podcast interactions and stuff. It's not for me. It's to try to drive traffic to podcasts.
I feel like that's the same excuse that everyone uses.
I wouldn't know because I don't know how to navigate Twitter for shit. So
Fair enough.
You are listening to Just Roll With It. Jonathan is your lore master. Christine plays the channeler Amena Valare. Neil plays the Ogier Quercus, son of Ilex. Aradia plays the channeler Pimur Dothorin Akel. And Fate plays the Child of the Light, Lance Akashi.
Now, remember last time you had your interactions with the Cult of the Tinkers or whoever the hell they were. And really, it was a bonus for you guys. You made a couple of friends. You got out of there. Pimur didn't light anything on fire, but
that sucked.
There was a dog that came out of it, so...
Yeah.
That did not suck.
Puffers. I love him.
So fluffy.
I love him.
And you made your way. You finally arrived at the way station. Lance was noticing that something was a little bit amiss, and then the doors opened, and there's another sergeant of the Children of the Light standing there saying, "Hey, get in here. The trollocs might come back."
Oh yeah, it was the cliffhanger with the damn T word.
Yeah, and we were like, what? And then the game ended. So returning to what? Trollocs? Seriously?
All right. So I actually wrote a little introduction. So let's you're gonna have to cut this out of the actual podcast because it's almost trademarked. But let's hop into the imagination copter and go ahead and visit the Wheel of Time. It's It's a glass cannon thing. The
I
heavy...
thought it was like little Einsteins. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean, now that you say that, I am old. I remember the little Einsteins. Anyway, now that's going to be stuck in my head. God damn it. The heavy oaken timbers barring the door from the inside are lifted, and the battered wooden double doors swing inward, their bent hinges groaning with the effort. The interior of the compound is revealed, a central courtyard open to the sky with individual stalls for horses, below sleeping chambers along the west wall, with a squat two-story structure in the southeast corner functioning as a headquarters or gathering area. And you were greeted at the door by Sergeant Rath Dyron. He looks to be in his mid-30s, short, close-cropped dark hair, mustache, goatee, face creased with several scars. He's got a pistol on one hip, a sword in the other. As he looks up at you on the cart, he says, "Thank the light you've arrived when you did, Sergeant. The trollocs might have come back again tonight. Sending the ammunition ahead really isn't standard procedure, but I'll take what I can get. How far behind you is the rest of the banner? Lord, nail 'em! Come unload this powder, quickly!"
Oh.
Excuse me, sir. This isn't the ammunition you're looking for.
This isn't the ammunition you're looking for.
Nicely done.
Pardon me, Master Ogier, also, an Ogier, but, surely you're the head of the relief column from Delsharandu.
I think you may be mistaken there. Ogier don't have a history of fighting with the White Cloaks as relief troops, except in the direst of circumstances. I haven't heard of trollocs this century, possibly. Could you provide any more information about the fist of trollocs that attacked you?
Right, yeah. And as he's talking, two younger men seem to come down from the walls and they start to make towards the wagon. And he says, "It started a 5 day ago. Bright red light in the sky. No torch could have made that light. Not sure what it bloody was. Then the bloody trollocs come pouring out of the thickets north of here, ran right up to the gate, screaming as if the Dark One himself was behind them. Luckily, we got this light-blasted gate shut in time. We managed to kill a few with the rifles, but they dragged away the corpses. They've been probing the walls every night since. We've shot through most of our powder, and we aren't really the best shots to begin with. Sergeant Keth led his squad out night afore last, heading up to the beacon to try and get the signal lit. And we sent a rider for Delsharandu to let somebody know. If you have no idea, then he obviously didn't make it. And I have no idea what happened to Keth and his men."
This whole time, Lance is like racking his brain, like, did I forget something? Did I forget something? What did I forget? Yeah, I have food.
We brought a wagon load of food, Lance. There was no word about a supply wagon train.
Yeah, but we got your good shot and my swords and Theo gear that can outrun, hopefully, trollocs. I don't know. They were in the history books. Why would I need to pay attention?
I'm just saying, like, they're expecting a wagon train? We're just one wagon.
I don't know. Save me. At this point, I'm going to look over at... I don't even know.
Okay, so what's in our wagon? Was it food? Was it powder? What was in our wagon?
So it's got a, there's like an oilskin tarp over it, essentially. So the two younger children of the light who have no rank ornamentation on their uniforms come up and they start, like, they toss it and they kind of look inside. You are able to see boxes and crates and barrels and other things. And as you kind of go through it, as you're watching these two guys move everything, you see a box of rounds, musket rounds. You see food, enough food supplies for 2 weeks for roughly 20 men.
A box, as in one box?
A box of probably 100 rounds.
Okay.
And then basic construction equipment, some timber and some nails, 2 small casks of lamp oil, and that's about it.
Was this what they were expecting?
I don't think so, but you know what? You mentioned a red light 5 days ago.
It started 5 days ago, but every night there's been that bloody red light.
I'm going to look over at everyone who's been standing watch the last 4 days. Have you guys noticed?
No.
But we've been under the canopy of the trees for most of the time in the evening. We wouldn't have seen a red
Don't
light.
use your facts against me.
I'm busy thinking about potentially more significant things, like trollocs shouldn't exist anymore. They should have been eradicated with the last battle. I'm less concerned with whether we are or aren't the supply train, because clearly we aren't. It's more a case of...
No. My concern is the fact that we aren't the supply train, and we didn't pass anyone.
Yeah,
That,
that's what I'm
like-
concerned about.
There was nowhere along the way where there was a battle that we noticed. There's the Tinkers. This could be a bigger problem.
What's north of here?
More empty space with roads and different other way stations. You get the feeling from the way that Sergeant Dyron is talking to you. He thought his rider got through and that they were sending reinforcements, and you were just the head. You were the vanguard of those reinforcements.
Oh, gotcha.
So the fact that the rider didn't get through.
Okay.
We don't know that the rider didn't get through. He could have made it through.
I know that the rider didn't go through.
How?
Now we're figuring that out. Okay, I got you. Yeah, no, we didn't see any sign of struggle or of the rider at all.
Well, unless we missed them while we were off hanging out with Masana
Or with the Tinkers.
or with the
Yeah,
Tinkers.
That's a good point.
Some of us were definitely a little, discombobulated from imbibing. By the
Says the
fire.
one who was obsessed with a dog.
Yeah, my dog is awesome. And you know what I just realized? What we could do, even though the rest of the supply train never got there, we have construction materials, we have lamp oil, we have a box of ammunition. I wonder if we could build like a trebuchet.
I was totally going there.
Yeah. And like make bombs, right? Because we have the fuel, it could land, rounds go out everywhere. Like, I'm just saying.
Just as long as we understand that Lance is not Ryder, I'm not jumping down and killing everything for you guys.
You wouldn't need to. That's what the trebuchet is for.
I thought that was what the one power was for.
Yeah, but what if I'm, feeling sad and I can't embrace the one power? It's good to have a backup plan.
This is what I'm saying. Like, firearms don't have moods.
Yeah.
Okay, so they come every night, the Trollocs?
They've been every night so far.
Okay, what time of day is it?
You were going to arrive about midday-ish, so it's probably 1.
Okay. I guess let's get this wagon in and unloaded and bar the doors and load our muskets and get
And
ready
build a
to
trebuchet.
blow some shit
I'm going to
up.
look around at the non-musket weapons that are attached to me.
I'm telling you, man. Way of the future.
Hey, I have a question about my tiara.
Uh-huh.
Have I, bonded with it enough yet? Do I understand
Yes.
its mysteries and its ways?
Yes, you have. Yes.
Okay.
You're attuned to your Archimedes' death ray of beautiful doom.
Attuned. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
Yes, you have attuned.
That's going to come in really handy.
If we are still half a day away from the attack, and they've been coming every evening, we should find footprints and be able to track them.
Yeah.
Possible.
How many did you say usually come?
And Wrath is kind of he's watching you guys talk, and he's just been kind of standing there. Well, the first night was about 10. Second night was about 24. It varies. They've been probing different sides. We're at half strength as it is. I don't know where the other squad is. I haven't seen them in a day. And I'm not bringing my men out there in the middle of the woods when there's bloody trollocs.
And what way did your men go?
Sergeant led them off to the north. There's a... Can you see it from over here? And he pulls you over and he points. And probably a half mile to the north and slightly east is a rise, is a low hill. And on top of that it's very much like a Gondor calls for aid situation. It's like an emergency beacon. And it doesn't appear to be touched. It's not lit for sure. And they were heading for that. And I'm assuming they're all dead.
Well, we need that beacon lit, and we need to know if they're dead or not. You guys have the supplies.
I mean, I can have the boys start building. I think I'd want to reinforce the front door. We might want to reinforce the archer platform over there, and we might want to build something facing back in case they try and come that way. I'm open to suggestions, though. I don't know how long you've been a sergeant. I haven't been doing this for very long, so I'm not very experienced.
I've been a sergeant for 7 days.
Oh, bloody hell.
So that sounds like a good idea, though. You guys work on reinforcing with the building supplies. We'll go see if we can find the other party and get the beacon lit, and then come back and kick some ass.
Yeah, we're going to kick some ass.
I am going to let you three go and light that beacon whilst I find out more about where these trollocs are coming from. I'm still privately rather skeptical that they are trollocs, given that trollocs shouldn't be
I would
here.
like to go ahead.
I'm not sure I believe these white cloaks.
A, we're white cloaks, you ass. 2, I never said we were leaving right now. I'm not going anywhere without
You need
an
lunch.
ogier to back up those two.
I beg your pardon. Which two?
You and Pimur. Because if you guys are going to be channeling, you need to be able to focus, which means we need to keep everything off of you guys.
Timer. I kind of feel a little bit, like he doesn't think we can handle ourselves,
I agree.
right?
Oh, I think Pimur can. He's exceptional with that shot. You've been obsessed over a dog the last 3 days.
Oh, right. And what else have I done before I was obsessed with this dog? Let me see.
Something about a bear in a one-time event.
Yeah, I'm hardly helpless. And you're lucky that we're, like, on the same team right now. So, just wait.
Okay, so Quercus, seriously, you think we need to go into the woods and find Trolloc prints?
I think the more important thing is to establish that these things exist and are trollocs rather than some fictitious jumping at shadows. And
Okay,
then
well-
establish where they're coming from. The four of us aren't going to fend off hordes of trollocs by ourselves, and a beacon does not take 4 people to man. So,
The beacon and the tracks are the same direction, right? So,
are they?
Yes.
Okay. In that case, we can do the both. I imagine the beacon off to one side and the tracks.
You weren't really looking for tracks, so you'd have to go look for them. But the direction that the sergeant was indicating is sort of the beacon and the forested area nearby.
yeah, just north. I don't know. Let's just go walk somewhere. I'm restless. I'm sitting in the cart for like 20 minutes. Like, let's go.
That's cool. Did they leave something behind, like, when they were testing the walls and stuff? Like, maybe a scrap of clothing, something that I could have my dog smell to maybe use for tracking?
Go ahead and give me. And are you so you're gonna like walk the perimeter or whatever of the little fort?
Yeah, or just ask Sergeant Dyron if they have anything or if they noticed anything.
Okay. They honestly they dragged away the corpses, so there might be something, but I haven't really had a chance to look. And Laud, that idiot, wasted one of our last shots on you because we didn't know who you were. So I'm gonna keep my guys in here, but you're free to go do whatever. You don't answer to me. You answer to him.
Who do I answer to?
We answer to
I'm
everybody.
gonna look at the
So,
sergeant and be like,
thank
no.
you very much.
So they sent me alone. My friends just came with me because they know how depressed I get without friends.
Yeah.
So, oh bloody hell!
All right, so I'll roll an investigation check and see what I can find out.
All right.
Ooh.
20.
Nice. Okay. So you find scraps of what looks to be like dark leather armor or something. It smells, there's sort of the lingering low smell of burning hair, but there's not really any cloth or anything that you can see.
All right, well, I'm going to call Ashandari, my dog, over. Smell this, and you're super smart, so find out where this smell is coming from.
Okay, go ahead and give me an animal handling check.
21.
Okay.
Damn.
He's smart, I told you guys.
Yeah, no, he's quite
Yeah.
smart. He gets all up in the smells, and then have you fashioned a leash for him at all, or is he just gonna off on his own?
No, he's free.
Okay, so he will immediately take off northeast.
All right, northeast. I guess that's where we're going, guys.
Follow that dog.
Can we grab like food and sharpen not power rot swords and get more ammo and gunpowder? And can we not just leave right this very second?
You are so practical, it hurts.
Okay. Before we leave, I would also like to ask this sergeant whether he saw any insignia on these trollocs to determine if they were trollocs, or whether they were part of one of the clans that existed before the last battle.
Insignia, no, I was just trying not to think about the giant bull face coming in and screaming at me, so I didn't really have time to pay attention to to any sorts of insignia.
Are you sure there are trollocs?
Yay high, covered in armor, bull-faced, screaming at the top of their lungs. Seemed like it to me.
I don't know what your problem is, Quercus. Sounds like a trolloc.
They shouldn't exist anymore, Pima.
It's the X-Blight. Who knows?
That's why we need to go and track them.
Maybe they were in a stasis box.
A stasis box? Why would anyone stick trollocs in a stasis box? They were 2 a penny in the last age.
Yeah, but if somebody was like really evil and forward thinking, then maybe they would have thought, hey, just in case, I'm going to take these trollocs and I'm going to stick them in the stasis box.
Right.
So if I have use of them later.
I will stick trollocs in a stasis box instead of this Angreal. That makes a lot of sense.
Well, it does if you're an evil genius.
Let the king of entropy reign.
But I do agree with you, my Ogier friend. It does seem, it's kind of hard to believe that there are trollocs. I almost feel like someone's messing with us, but at the same time, if we don't go and look, how do we know?
That's true, we need to. And we also need to find the source of this red light that none of us noticed whilst we were whilst we were on watch.
Lance saw it at least once, but I think that was it.
He did, but
Yeah,
did he
sounds
own
right.
up to it?
True.
No.
No.
No, I asked if you guys had seen it, and none of you guys had.
Yeah.
So what's the point of me mentioning it? Like, I can't describe it. It's a big red light. There. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, you never actually described it to us. So we don't actually know that Lance ever saw it.
Right.
Apparently it's only is visible to white cloaks.
You know what else is only visible to white cloaks?
What?
A pink cloak.
Oh, that's good stuff. Okay, so what's the plan? Who's going where?
Well, I'm following my dog.
I mean, I think we'll stick together and follow the tracks, and if we get near to the watch post, then maybe reevaluate.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'm going to gird my loins.
I thought you brought your fighting and traveling dress for this one.
The divided for writing, right? So you can kick without being improper.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot that I had those. Yeah. They're like culottes.
And so, also, mechanical question. How soon, like, how long can we just hold the source? Like, can we just, like, embrace it and walk off into the woods and hold it for an hour or 6 hours or 10 minutes?
I hate you.
Definitely.
Because, I mean, I want to, make sure that I have bullets in my guns and that I've embraced the source if I can hold the source for that kind of time.
I would say anything over 15 minutes or a half hour is a concentration save. What do you think, Lore Master?
That sounds good to me. I was letting you decide because I had not thought about that.
Me either. That's why it's off the top of my head. Now I need to go write notes.
That seems reasonable from canon. Like, they don't just, like, hold the power all the time unless you're, like, one of the quartet.
But even
in
they
Avi's
don't.
vision. Well, the one daughter of Rand does, but that's a special case in Avi's vision. So nobody else does. So that works with canon. Okay, so then I will not embrace the source right away, but I will make sure that I have bullets in both my guns before we take off.
Cool.
Well, Master, I'm just going to declare trollocs as my first favoured enemy. I didn't do it when we started because I didn't have any enemies, but now I have one potentially real enemy, potentially an enemy that was lost existed 150 years ago, and now is just a childhood story that scares white cloaks.
I thought French fries were your enemy.
They would be my second favoured enemy when I come across them.
I have advantage on all attacks against potatoes.
Only French fried potatoes.
They have disadvantage on saves if they're fried.
Pretty much. Okay. So who is in the lead?
I think the dog whisperer.
Hold up before we're leaving. How close is this thing to being unpacked?
I mean, Laud and Nalem have done about half of it.
I'm waiting till it's done so we can take it with us.
Take what with us?
The cart and the horse.
You don't think that might be...
We're going to take the cart and the horse with us? Why wouldn't you just leave it here and backpack out with a few supplies?
I agree.
Because if we're going to where they're potentially injured, I'm not carrying them back.
I mean, that's true, but if we go to where there are potentially trollocs, they're just going to take our horse and eat it.
Then we need to kill them faster.
How much experience tracking through the woods do you have, Lance? You see...
Hi, I'm Lance.
The point about the woods is that there are trees in them, and the point about trees is that they get in the way of carts.
Sassy Ogia is a new flavor.
Oh boy.
So this is the question: is are we going cross country or
Yeah, so if it's so in my head, I'm picturing if that is the goal, the torch, we need help. There is an established path. It's not just I'm gonna go freelancing through the woods and over the roots and all. There has to be an established path because you want path of least resistance in an emergency.
No, there is a path that leads in that direction. Yes.
So are the tracks on that path?
So if we're looking for tracks, I need survival checks from anyone who's interested in looking for tracks.
I will do a survival check.
While he's doing that, like I said, I'm not Lance. I'm actually thinking things through and not just making snap decisions.
12. But when traveling through a forest for more than 1 hour, it says that I learn the exact number, the size, and how long the people I'm tracking, how long ago they passed through an area, apparently.
Look at that. Well,
Fancy.
yeah. So if you spend that hour sort of looking for tracks and following along the cart path, you would see tracks. With that score and with that ability, they are all large-ish tracks, but they're all boots. They're all hobnail boots. And they went through, it's been 8 hours or so.
Okay. Boots. What odds that this many trollocs would all be boot-wearing varieties rather than hooved or pawed or any other appendage?
It's a good question. It's a very good question. That would be like, I don't know if I remember that lesson in the tower.
They're big and they had stuff.
They're like part animal.
Yeah. Like unmistakable if you see them, but like, yeah, these are just the tracks of big men, I guess.
Yeah, maybe men pretending to be trollocs.
Still doesn't answer the question of where those other men vanished off to.
Are you continuing
I'm going
to
to
search
follow my dog.
Okay. Fair enough.
So I'm just going to kind of start walking and follow after Ashandari and wait for you guys to catch up because most of you are taller than I am except for our white cloak friend. So it shouldn't take you too long to catch up with me.
I don't know how to take that.
Off I go.
How do short people respond to tall people making fun of them?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, mostly I don't know.
Okay, so I've got the right reaction.
Honestly, it's in the secret handbook that I can't actually share with you because you're over a certain threshold.
Okay, so you're following Ashandari, who took off into the woods, and nothing seems amiss as you're following him through. And then he seems to stop, and he's wagging his tail, and he's circling a fairly hefty tree just over and over and over again.
All right, so I'm going to kind of walk up to him and be like, good boy, come sit. And he'll come and he'll sit by me because he's the best boy ever. Pet his little head.
Oh, you're gonna so hate me if I do anything to that dog.
I will fucking kill you if you do anything to my dog. I will hunt you down and I will find you and string you up by your toes.
It's a very Seafolk threat.
Yes, that is oddly specific because it is exactly what I will do to you.
The specific ones are the worst because you visualize that very
I
obviously.
thought about it. Yeah, so I'm just going to kind of go over and then just sort of look up the trunk of the tree and see what I see. Should I do an investigation check?
Yeah, go ahead and give me an investigation check.
A 9.
Okay, so you don't see anything specifically up in the tree, but when you're kind of looking around, maybe there's some small bushes and shrubs near the tree itself. You do see trapped sort of underneath the branches at the bottom of this little bush or whatever near the tree seem like they're broken. And there's a small scrap of white cloth that got caught on a twig or a branch.
All right, well, I'm going to reach down. I'm going to grab that white cloth and look at it. And I think it kind of looks like a piece of a cloak from one of the Children of the Light.
It's pretty close.
Yeah, that's probably not good. Do I see anything else around that might give me a clue as to who this fabric could belong to?
You do not.
And all this time, the tracks from the potential trollocs have been as if they're just regular marching. There's no scuffle or anything like that evident?
There's no evidence of any scuffles or anything with the tracks. They're not like straight line marching. It's more akin to like a large group sort of running pell-mell. So they're not all like in an orderly fashion or whatever. They kind of dip and dive and kind of go all, but they're continuing in that general direction.
Have you caught up with me, Quercus?
Yes, I'm now by the tree as
Okay.
well. I'm just thinking about these trollocs seem to have been running in a rather haphazard fashion. Is this, do you think, what happens when they're not under the control of a Murdral, or are these genuine trollocs after all?
Sam also following. I've caught up. What'd you find?
Well, I found this piece of white fabric and I just kind of handed it over to you. And I feel like it looks like it could belong to a white cloak. What do you think?
I don't know. What do I think? Is there blood on it? How is it torn?
It looks like a scrap of cloth. It looks sort of maybe like the corner of something. So maybe if someone's cloak got caught in the woods or caught in the shrubbery.
And then there's nothing on the tree. The dog's queuing on the tree. The dog's not following away from there.
Why don't you go ahead and roll me an investigation check as well now that you're caught up?
Okay. Well, 20 is working. 16.
Okay. So you're kind of looking and you're like, well, if you're wearing a cloak and you were scrabbling on your hands and knees, you could have gone into this bush and had something rip. And as you're kind of following that line of thinking, Amena had been looking at the shrubbery on one side of the tree. As you're kind of following it all the way around and you're looking on almost the exact opposite side of the tree, this is a pretty hefty tree, so it takes a couple of paces for you to get around to the other side. There is a splash of what looks like blood near the roots.
Oh, shit. Guys, come over here. Check this
What?
out.
What you found?
Oh no.
Looks like blood. So I'd say we've got an injured white cloak.
How far from the path is this tree?
15 feet.
Okay, so can we follow the blood? Is there like a trail to follow from there?
It doesn't appear to be a trail, it's just a decent splash on the roots.
Okay. Looking around, is there any sign of anything else from here?
That would be another survival check.
Shit. 12. I got a natural 20 when I hit the button twice, but 12.
Doesn't look to appear to be anything.
Okay. Lance, is there like a special white cloak procedure for what happens when you get terrified in the woods and bit by something?
Has the wagon been unloaded yet?
Yes, the wagon's been unloaded.
Okay. So then, what was the question again?
We've all gone off into the woods and found a cloak and blood, and I'm asking if there's a special white cloak procedure for going to ground when you get hurt in the woods. I don't know. I'm trying to find this guy.
Yeah, I was afraid that's what you had asked. Can I do a history check to see if there is?
Yes, go ahead and give me a history check.
Something to make me not have to think of it. I have absolutely no idea what I rolled, though.
That's a 19.
Okay, 19. Do I know?
You would know if there was one. There is not.
So I'm going to look over at Pimur and just be like, yeah, dude, this is not covered in anything I've done, but I also haven't had my sergeant training yet. We kind of just up and left.
Okay, well, it looks like we've got a hurt white cloak somewhere in these woods. So,
Well, if these were trollocs, I doubt they attacked just one of them. I think we should do a search for the surrounding area to see if we can find any more.
I agree.
yeah, I agree. So I guess we're going to spread out from here and look for more evidence of shredded white cloaks.
Yeah.
Okay, so who's going with who, or how are you dividing yourselves up?
Do Pimur and I stick together since we've been bonding over his gun and my new sword, and then those two stick together? Or do we want to swap it up to try and get to know each other?
Or do we just all go off in our own separate directions? Because that never ends badly.
I'm going off
Yeah.
with my dog, so.
I think we can cover ground if we split up,
We're going to split up all the
but
way?
only go maybe 100 meters into the woods on either side.
Sure.
That's like 3 steps for you, man.
That's what I mean, not far.
All right, let's do it.
So we spread out in 4 directions.
Okay, maneuver yourselves as you would so like to on the roll 20, just so I get an idea.
It's all black.
Yeah, roll 20's gone black.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't scrolled up because I've got things on my screen.
What?
Oh, never mind. It just hadn't updated.
Try and refresh it now.
It was showing us the white cloak thing earlier. The garrison or whatever.
Right, and now it should be you guys on a path in the middle of some greeny foresty terrain.
I can imagine it. I'm going to head off to the west of the path.
Okay.
I'm gonna go north.
I'm gonna go northeast.
I guess I'm gonna go northwest.
Okay, so fanning west, northwest, north, northeast.
Yeah, you've done a really good job of hitting all of the compass points there, too.
Well, there's no point in us going south or southeast or southwest. Like,
Southeast.
why would we need to go
Everything's
south if the blood trail was going north?
There wasn't a blood trail.
There's not a trail.
It's just a splash.
There's
I
just
still
a
think it's gonna be
splash of
north.
blood.
I think we're fanning out. I think we're going for a fan.
I am picturing it, at least that's what I think you're attempting to do.
Good.
Well, I do notice that despite what Sirenscape is telling us, that the birds seem to be a little quieter. I can't hear much in the forest. It seems rather silent to me, so I'm going to listen for a moment and make sure that I'm not letting my nerves get to me.
Okay. It is indeed a little bit quieter.
Do the birds know something I don't?
If we're gonna split up, I think I want to try to embrace the source as of that point in time.
Okay, so go ahead and roll me that Arcana check.
15.
All right, you actually managed to embrace the source.
Sweet.
Dude, I'm gonna embrace the source now too.
Just saying, like, be ready to blast.
16.
All right, you good to go. All right, so why doesn't everybody go ahead and give me survival checks?
7.
19.
13.
20.
Whatever.
All right. So if you're not letting yourselves get separated too far and you're just sort of fanning out, Quercus, Amena, and Lance would all see evidence of large booted footprints heading in the northwest direction. But again, it's kind of doing the pell-mell thing, so they're not walking in any orderly formations or whatever, but it seems like the general curve is that way. And then Lance rolled a 19. Lance would notice that several of the tracks branch off and continue straight north.
Noted. So if we hit our 100-meter mark, I'm going to go back to our designated wait for us here spot.
Could we estimate how many tracks we each saw?
You would guess that there are between 2 and 3 dozen unique individuals.
So I'm going to regroup as well.
Yeah, I'll go back. I didn't see anything. What about you guys?
I mean, I just saw like some boot prints and stuff, but they're kind of all over the place.
I found a lot of tracks and where they kind of split up again.
Again?
Split?
Yeah. So I'm going to kind of like guide everyone over.
And I saw at least, I would estimate, several dozen trollocs. This is a larger raiding party than I imagined. So now we have 2 trails to investigate.
All right, do we want to split off 2 and 2?
Maybe. Do either the trails head to the watchtower?
Not directly, no.
Okay.
In fact, if you would look at an overhead map, the trails of the larger group would pass to the sort of south of where the watchtower is, or the beacon, essentially. And if Lance is telling the truth about where that other group branched off, it would almost curve to the north around it. So they're kind of splitting around it. They're not heading towards it.
The hell do you mean if I'm telling the truth?
I am not an unreliable narrator. I am just merely providing context.
But there's no reason that I'm not telling the truth. Just because I might have the information wrong doesn't mean I'm not telling the truth.
Such an eyes to die answer.
I was trying to be sneaky, yes.
So do we think that one party was chasing a group of white cloaks who may have escaped, or that clearly one set of trollocs must have been returning to wherever it is they come from? Maybe the others went somewhere else with the white cloaks, or that they were chasing them.
Yeah, but I don't think we should split up. I think we should pick one path and follow it.
I mean, does one path look more populated than the other?
The big group seems to keep going to the northwest, and a smaller group of maybe a half dozen or so curved up north.
All right, so do we want to go to the northwest then?
I think so.
Yes.
Are we all in agreement?
I think so.
I think that's probably wise. I can run at a reasonable clip. I could head off, quickly scout the other trail, and then meet you on your trail if you prefer, but maybe splitting up wouldn't be the best decision. That might be a bit too hasty.
I think so.
I think hasty is probably the right word. Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna head off on the northwest track after the larger group.
Come on, Ashandari.
Okay, are you trying to do it stealthily? Are you just trumping through the woods? Like,
Can we tell how recently the party passed through before us?
Quercus would be able to tell you the tracks are probably 8 to 10 hours old.
I don't think we need to be too stealthy yet.
Okay.
I don't think. I don't know. Questions like that are very leading.
I mean, I think if we practice a little bit of sound discipline, that's probably not going to be a bad idea, especially if they do have people sort of on the lookout. So I don't think we have to, like, do it ninja style, but, like, sneak through. But maybe just, you know, minimal amounts of talking, hand gestures if at all possible, and sort of watch our step.
Yes, minimal use of firearms when just shooting at swords.
I'm going to look over at Pimur and just be like, yeah, that's my turn to show off.
Fine. We'll see who gets there first.
I know how to take little tiny quick steps.
Yeah, because you're short.
Wow, where's that popcorn?
I don't know how to argue back to this because usually that's my response.
Okay. I think we should decide on a marching order. Is that what happens? Or is that only for tracking people who are trying to kill us?
No, that's if you would like to decide a marching order, I would appreciate it.
Do you want to go first, Amena, if your dog is tearing ahead of us, the rest of us?
Yeah, I mean, right now he's just kind of trotting along beside me, but I don't mind going first. That's fine. And he is a sight hound, so if he sees something, he'll bolt for it.
Okay.
I'll steer near the front of the group too.
Thank you.
I will bring up the rear, and then Lance can maybe go in the middle.
Yep, I'll be wherever we need me to be. That way I can drop back, jump forward, you know, actually react to things instead of being jumped by things.
Right.
Okay. So you're not heading directly for the beacon. You're following this group of footprints. And you follow it for probably 15, 20, 45 minutes. And why doesn't everybody go ahead and roll me a perception check?
19.
4.
15.
5.
Okay. So...
Maybe we should be on the inside. Quercus.
Right, exactly.
And for those of you who are going to be watching this back on YouTube, I'm sorry about all the fuckery that's going on with the video.
Do you mean pixelation?
No, I mean like the webcam keeps freezing and Roll20 keeps freezing like mid dice roll or mid hand gesture, and I'm having to like constantly refresh it.
Right. Okay.
That sucks.
I think I missed a checkbox. I think that's all it is.
How does Sirenscape interact with the recording software to know to dim the sound effects when we're speaking?
So that's actually something that Hangouts does. Hangouts has a priority system for whoever's talking loudest gets priority and everything in the background fades out. So when we're using Sirenscape in the call, it fades out, but when I'm recording at full or at normal volume and it isn't fluctuating.
Okay, so yeah, still nothing. Curses.
Oh, wait. No, I see it. At the bottom. There's just a little bit at the bottom and all of our tokens are down there.
Can you shift and then click and hold to
yes, I see.
drag us to that spot?
Let me see if this will work.
Bottom right-hand corner.
Oh, there we are. Ah, thank you.
Shoot.
Okay, so this makes this much easier.
Yay.
How are we supposed to find trollocs in the forest if we can't even find ourselves on a small black screen?
Okay, so Pimur is the only one who notices. I mean, it's a cliff. You see that it's a cliff face, so you notice that part. As you guys are coming up, you notice about 150 feet to your west is something that's about 7 or 8 feet tall, bull face, horns, dark armor, and it's facing away from you.
Oh.
Oh, fuck.
To the west of
The
us?
west of you, yes.
Okay. So is it facing away from me? How is it bull-faced? How do I know it's
Yeah.
bull-faced?
It's turned slightly, so it's not straight over there.
I'm just
No,
saying.
fair point. Fair point.
So it's very clearly not human.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna shoot at it.
You're going to shoot at it.
This is really
With your
really
big
pathetic.
explodey boom boom stick, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's a fucking trolling.
But that's, I mean,
What?
don't
What?
you think that's a little hasty?
Yes.
To borrow a term from our friend here.
It is. How else should one be with something that's bigger and faster than you?
I'm gonna look down at my swords and how I can be sneaky.
Yeah, I have my longbow out with an arrow nocked as well.
Yeah, and I'm like all ready to like tie him up with airflows and stuff. So in this particular specific instance, I agree with our white cloak friend, and let's be more stealthy. I'm sorry. I still love you.
Thank you, Pimur.
You guys are no fun.
Before any action occurs, can we see what this trolloc is staring at so intently that he doesn't notice a party of 4 plus a dog, who presumably must have no sense of smell if it hasn't gone for the thing already?
He is a very smart dog, and he's staying close.
Absolutely. Actually, this will make it good. So you've noticed the trolloc or whatever it is, and then you sort of turn to look, and you see before you a wide valley covered in tents, and you see dozens of people moving around and lots of tents.
And there are people moving around.
Mm-hmm.
Not trollocs.
What? Wait, what? This trolloc is standing on the edge of a cliff, overlooking a human camp?
Mm-hmm.
Is he on guard? Does it seem like he's on guard duty? Or is he just, like, looking at it like a menu? Like, what should I eat today?
Is he a trolloc?
It appears to be.
Pimur, Amena, can you tell if this trolloc is a trolloc or is something that is not a trolloc pretending to be a trolloc by virtue of some one-power trickery that Lance and I cannot see?
I mean, we could kill it and see if it dropped whatever flow it was holding.
Okay.
Pimur, thoughts?
I mean, can we sense any channeling around it?
You don't see any channeling. No, there's no flows, there's no auras, there's nothing like that.
Okay, so, I mean, we have to figure out what the hell's going on with this camp without getting spotted by this trolloc. That clearly is the far more important issue than killing one random trolloc that should not fucking exist, mind you.
Can I go stabby then?
Can I tie him up?
You think he's as smart as Narg?
I think maybe he's not a trolloc.
I agree.
I'm inclined towards killing, but I can see the practicality of not announcing our presence with a boomstick.
You could wound him, incapacitate
But then
him.
everybody will hear the gunshot.
Yeah, the gunshot's the problem. So,
Use the one power.
Yeah. I'm going to tie him up with my flows of air because I've been practicing a lot and I'm a little itchy. Like, I want to use them. So that's what I'm going to do.
Okay, so that's what you want to do?
That's what I'm doing it right now.
Okay, so how do we want to handle airflows?
It's got to be a spell cast.
It's a cantrip.
So we'd follow whatever that particular cantrip says.
well, you have to do an Arcana check again because it's been like 40 minutes. We've been in the woods and stuff. Or should I not have mentioned that?
That's a lore master question.
Yeah, I would say so.
Nat 20 for 24.
Okay, you are full of the power.
I am so full of the power right now.
Did I just hear you say you were so full of yourself? What?
I mean that too, but I am also so full of the power right now. Yeah. So can I just like weave some flows of air, please?
Bear style. Doing it gently. It's for the other John.
I know, I get it. So which cantrip are you technically using?
Didn't we decide that a flow that flows of air were a cantrip?
I feel
Didn't we
like-
decide that early on?
That was for that first week where we didn't have actual cantrips. You have spells now, so you've got to use something that's actually in your kit.
I didn't realize that was something that we weren't going to be able to use anymore because I've used it a few times, not just that first time.
As far as I know, you've tried to use it a few times, but things have come up and you haven't been able to. Because I'm looking at my notes, and all of my notes for it are that it's cantrip, and as of right now, there isn't something just to tie people up, because creating brand new spells is way deeper than I'm diving at the current moment.
Okay. So I guess I could just use my blindness deafness weave, which is an air weave,
That would work.
and blind his, like cover up his eyes and deafen his ears.
Yeah.
And then we could run in and then tie him up whilst he's deafened and blinded.
So proper. But yeah, I mean, that would work.
Can I do that?
Yep. So you made your Arcana check. So now what does the blindness deafness say? Are there any sorts of saves or anything on my end that I have to roll?
I think maybe.
I recall it from the Tinker thing.
Saving throw is con.
Con saving
Con
throw.
saving throw.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So, since this is a surprise round, he has not noticed you. I am going to give everybody an action before we have to roll for initiative. So, what is the DC that he has to beat?
Let me look.
Mine is 13 for what that's worth. I just happen to have that open.
Why am I not seeing it?
If you've got your character open where it says advantage, normal, disadvantage, to the right of that's core bio spells. If you click on spells, it should be at the very top.
All right. It's not. Hold on. But it
Let's
is
remind us.
in my core. If I just click on like the little wheel, it shows. It's just not giving me. So it says a saving throw con versus DC spell. Save effect half damage. Or actually, John, can you go into my spell sheet, to my character sheet?
I was just trying to do that, yeah. Journals.
It says 1d6 slashing.
There you are, Amena. Character sheet. Spells. Spell save DC 14, and it did not make a 14. So.
Oh, I see
Yeah.
it. Okay.
So blindness, deafness. Does it actually cause damage, or does it just?
Yeah, it says damage 1d6 plus strength.
You can blind or deafen a foe. Choose one creature that you can see within range. If it fails, the target is either blinded or deafened. At the end of its turn, target can make a Constitution saving throw. On a success, the spell ends. Okay.
So I'm going to blind him then.
You're gonna blind him. Okay.
And I rolled a 19.
Yeah. So it's a saving throw for him, and he failed. So
Okay.
yeah, no. So he is definitely blind, and you watch as he's got this sort of crooked long sword in his hand, and he starts immediately shaking its head, and seems like it's very confused. Does anybody else want to do anything?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I'm gonna go sneaky up to it.
Okay. Roll me a stealth check with advantage. It is blind.
Oh, with advantage? Cool.
Yes.
15.
Okay. Doesn't appear to have heard you.
I'm gonna get as close to it as I can, so within like 4 or 5 feet where I can attack if I need to, but I'm not going to. Just kind of chill here.
Okay.
To see what is going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, what are you thinking?
It's shaking its head and like starts kind of like swinging out with its sword kind of haphazardly. Lance, go ahead and give me a perception check.
15 as well.
Okay, so you're looking and it's sort of smaller than you would imagine a trolloc to be. The armor kind of fits oddly, and it looks like the furry bits of the arm are connected to the armor, and the head is swinging sort of unnaturally, like its neck isn't working very well. The eyes they might be glass or something. They don't appear to have any life behind them at all, and it's just kind of swinging its sword randomly, and you can kind of hear grunting noises, but the mouth isn't moving as it's grunting.
The fuck did you create for us, Lore Master?
Okay, I want to cast Detect Magic on it to see if there's weaves set into it or
Okay.
on it. I don't know.
Okay, there don't appear to be any weaves on it.
Nothing.
No.
There's just okay. What about like if I look out over the camp? Are there like pennants?
There are no pennants.
And is there on his armor?
Go ahead and give me another perception check.
Okay, 15.
Okay, as you're specifically looking now, you can see people walking around. A lot of them don't seem to have like shirts on or whatever, and you're seeing what appear to be racks outside a lot of these tents. And as you look, you can see on these racks, it looks like upper torsos of trollocs with heads or something. And there's some people walking around, and you'll see one individual who's got like a furry trolloc arm instead of a left arm, and as you're piecing it together, something is wrong. These aren't real trollocs, but you're still not quite sure what's going on, and you have one flailing right in front of you. Okay, so blindness deafness only lasts for a minute, so you've probably only got about another 30 seconds of him being blind.
Let's rip his head off.
Okay. Does Ray of Fire make noise? Ray of Frost make noise? Do spells make noise?
It's more of Ray of Frost is very much like you just form a small ray of frost, and
Does it crackle?
Like you shoot lightning out of your hand, except it's ice.
Except lightning's noisy.
No, thunder is noisy. Lightning is not.
Well, when lightning strikes, it's noisy.
Also, I'm in between it and you.
yes, but this isn't Pathfinder. There's no modifier for that.
Yeah, unless she rolls a fucking 1.
Plus, you're short, so it's going to go right over your head. I don't know what you're worried about.
You mean like those jokes?
Technically, the wording of the Ray of Frost is a frigid beam of blue-white light. So I'm going to say no, there is no noise associated with it. because light doesn't make noise.
Okay, so I guess if we're gonna, I mean, we've messed with this thing, we kind of have to kill it now. So
Why?
Sure.
Why do we need to kill it?
Wait, what? Yeah.
Wait, I thought you said we should rip its head off. Amanda,
Yeah,
I'm
because I don't
backing
think
you
it's
up.
a real head. I think it's like a taxidermy trolloc head.
Yes.
Oh.
These are clearly the same type of costumes that. Did you not read the book of The Dragon Reborn by Loyal?
I looked at it once.
Do you not remember when they
Okay,
were
so
in
I'll use
Carrion
Mage Hand.
and there were fake trollocs, costume trollocs? This is what we're seeing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see puppeteers around this guy, but sure, whatever. So I will use Mage Hand to take a hold of this Trolloc's head and pull up.
Okay.
I guess.
Sure.
I guess I should be accountable and roll my Arcana check before I do that.
Yes, please.
But I did my detect magic thing. Oh no, I failed it. So I guess I will wave my hands in the air.
If no one else wants to do anything, the spell is about to end.
Well,
so
I will-
this is,
Can I run over there and just rip it off with my hands?
you go ahead and give me a. You would be easily be able to make it with your speed. So go ahead and roll me a strength check.
Quercus, how are you and I the calm ones?
The power makes one very excitable.
Yes, evidently so.
A 5.
Okay.
What?
So,
That's
but
bullshit.
it does. So you don't get it all the way off, but you do kind of run up and you kind of grab at it and you pull, and it does start to slide off. And you, from the neck torso region, you do hear, "What the bloody?"
Aha! Can I kick him while I'm over there?
Sure. Yes.
And I just like kick him. And I'm like, you made us chase you through the woods and I ruined my shoes. Talk.
Well, he still has a longsword in his hand. So,
I don't care.
all right. So,
Just giving Lance a blank stare, as if to say, should we intervene before this gets ridiculous?
I'm standing right next to the dude. I'm confused on.
okay. So he swings his longsword and he misses, and it kind of just bites into the ground. And a couple of seconds later, he's like, like pointing his longsword up at you, Amena.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm just gonna put my hand on it and like move it down and be like, is there something that you would like to discuss with me? What?
I'm gonna suddenly stand up and just like pretend to be bodyguard or something, because there goes all my stealth abilities.
He asked if you wanted to do something and nobody wanted to do anything, so I did something.
It's very true.
I'm so
And
confused.
I'm gonna need everybody to roll initiative because this just turned into combat.
Oh, just standing there at the edge of the cliff, like, get there. 14.
Hang on, let me.
I would say that 4 of us against one Trolloc that is not a Trolloc and really is still a human wrapped in Trolloc armor is not combat. That's just massacre. That's
Slaughter.
All right, so hang on just a second. This one. Anyone get 20 to 25?
21.
Okay, 15 to 20?
Nope.
10 to 15?
14.
14.
Who has the higher dex?
Mine's only 1.
2. So,
Okay.
me.
So then Pimur, then Quercus. Amena, what'd you roll?
An 8.
8? Okay. All right. Lance, you get to go first.
I'm gonna move between Amena and whoever this is, and try and talk them down out of attacking us, even though Amena has really pushed his buttons. Or her buttons, their buttons, its buttons.
Okay, what do you say?
Pause for effect? Fuck, I didn't think this through. Does it look male, female?
You really can't tell.
Okay, I'm gonna, since I've got both swords out, I'm just gonna kind of like move his sword to the side out of Amena's reach, and then sheath my other one to show that I'm not being aggressive.
Okay. That's your turn?
Yep.
All right. It's going to swing at you. That's a 24 to hit.
Yep.
That went well. Diplomacy. It's pointless.
Yep.
That is 11 damage.
I'm gonna look back at Amena and just be like, you.
Yes.
Pimur, you're up.
You had an opportunity to stealth your way up there and you didn't do it, so.
Okay, well, if he's gonna attack, then I guess it's time to shoot him. Because the fuck else am I gonna do? Stupid power went and left me, so I'm gonna... Crap, I have to think about this. How close am I? Am I like really close to this dude?
You had the chance to put yourself wherever you wanted beforehand, so...
Oh, okay, gotcha. So I guess I'm gonna back up and take a pistol shot at him.
Okay.
23 to hit.
23 will hit.
Nice.
8 piercing.
8 piercing. All right. Okay. Amena, you're up. Oh, no, Quercus, you're up. Sorry. I skipped you.
Okay, I haven't moved since the start of this, so how far does this make me from him? 15 feet away?
Sure, if that's... I mean, we were theater of the minding it, so that'll work just fine.
Okay, in that case I can use my longbow, is that correct?
Yes, you are out of melee range.
Okay. I will attack his legs as if I want to hamstring him.
Okay.
Or kneecap him or whatever. Oh, 12. Fantastic.
All right. 12 will miss. Okay, Amena, you're up.
All right. I am already embracing the source,
Yep.
so I am going to cast a firebolt.
Okay.
Oh, 5.
5 will miss.
Damn it.
Back to the top of the round. Lance, you're up.
Okay, this bastard didn't play nice, so I'm gonna draw and start having fun.
Okay.
First hit is 22 to AC.
22 hits.
I do 6 damage.
Okay.
Second with the bonus action, 11 to AC.
11 will miss.
Okay.
Wait, I have a question. Are we flanking?
No, because we're on the same side.
Oh,
Flanking has to be on 2 opposite sides.
okay.
The trolloc creature is going to swing back at Lance. That is a 22 to hit.
Yep.
Okay. That is 10 damage.
I crumble.
No way! Oh, damn it, I killed you again. Sorry.
You didn't stop making this such a habit, Amena.
It wasn't on purpose.
As technically, Amena isn't the one who pushed him into the haunted suit of armor.
That's very true.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm unconscious on the ground in front of you.
And Pimur, you are up.
Okay, I would like to grab Lance and drag him out of sword-wielding maniac range, if I can do that.
I think you can. Does that mean, Fate, that Pimur would have to dodge the attack of opportunity?
He doesn't enter in within that 5 foot. You wouldn't have to worry about it, but I believe he'd get a swing on me where I have no AC.
Oh.
No, I have my natural AC. I just don't get any kind of bonus or anything like that. And then that automatically becomes a
Death saving throw.
if it hits.
Right. Okay. So it's gonna swing at you. I mean, you can run in there and pull him out.
Wait, so what I got from that was that I would be creating more risk by doing that?
So with attacks of opportunity, it's when you leave the square, right? So Pimur physically wouldn't get within range of the longsword, but Lance already is. So technically, if you're pulling him out, Lance is leaving the square, allowing the Trolloc to get a swing at him. And since he's already unconscious, he would automatically lose 1 death saving throw of his 3.
But if I don't leave that, he gets to hit me on his turn, and if I get dragged out, he gets an opportunity anyway.
That's fair. Okay, well, yeah, I guess if I see Lance crumble, then I'm gonna switch from attack to retrieving Lance.
Okay, so it's going to take an attack of opportunity against Lance as you drag him away.
Yep, it hits.
What's your natural AC?
15.
Okay, well, it doesn't hit, because I rolled like shit.
No, I believe attacking me while I'm unconscious is an automatic hit.
Oh, really?
You just don't roll damage. I think so. Let me grab my handbook.
I'm looking it up right now. Attack rolls against an unconscious character have advantage, and any attack that hits the character is a critical hit if the attacker is within 5 feet.
Critical hit meaning...
As if I rolled a natural 20. If an unconscious character takes damage while at 0 HP, they automatically fail 1 death saving throw, or 2 death saves if the damage is from a critical hit. So I don't think it's a critical hit, but I think you lose a death saving throw. That's how I read it.
What page are you on?
I'm looking at it online. It's just a forum online. I'm not looking at the actual guide.
We can continue on while I'm looking this, because that's very different from what's in the book.
Oh, well, the book takes precedence, so...
Yeah, but I'm trying to find the exact wording for it.
Okay, so Quercus, you would be up.
Sorry, bad time to choose biscotti. I am going to close in and attack with my great axe.
Okay, so I'm going to get you up close. Go ahead and roll an attack.
15.
Okay, 15 hits.
Okay, so damage is 14.
14 damage?
Yep.
Okay, nice hit. And Amena, you are up.
All right, I'm gonna try a firebolt again.
Okay.
A 9.
Nope, 9 misses.
Damn it.
This is a sturdy old trolloc, fake trolloc.
Yeah, right?
It's not even a real trolloc. It's like a cheap knockoff version.
Tend.
What does that make us if we can't finish it?
Pathetic.
We're just novices.
Top of the round, Lance. I do believe I need a death saving throw from you.
Yep.
That's a fail.
One fail.
Yep. Okay. Well, the Trolloc is going to turn to face its new opponent, the Ogier, and going to roll a natural 20.
Ooh.
So that is going to be 10, 11, 15 points of damage.
Whoa.
And Pimur, you are up.
Okay, so do I have Lance out of the way now?
I hope so.
Yes, as far as I understand it, yes, you do.
Okay, so then, like, can I do, like, a medicine check or something to make him so he's not dying?
I don't remember the rules for stable.
Let me...
You can use your action to administer first aid to an unconscious creature and attempt to stabilize it, which requires a DC 10 Wisdom medicine check.
Yep, so get me a DC 10 medicine check.
13.
All right, he is stable, which means he is no longer having to roll death saving throws. He's still at 0 HP, but he's not dying.
Unless I get hit again and then I start all over.
Yes. Okay, Quercus, you are up.
Okay, as I'm in range, I'll take another swipe at him with my great axe.
Excellent.
8. Ooh.
8 will miss. And Amena, you're up.
All right, well, I think I'm gonna switch gears here and try to hit him with my quarterstaff.
Go old school wisdom on it.
Going old school.
Okay.
A 3. Did I do that right?
No, you have to roll the D20 attack first to make sure you hit.
Oh. Doot. Let's try this again. A 2.
Nope, so you swing.
It's so much better than a 1.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
And Lance, you are unconscious, so we skip your turn, and we go back to the Trolloc, who rolls a 13 against AC for Quercus.
AC is 15.
Okay, so he misses. Pimur, you are up.
Okay, well, I imagine I'm a little bit close. Could I move to where I'd be in range for using my musket in this turn?
Your musket has a very long range, so you are.
I know, but I kept too close, right? Or is there not a?
If I'm between you and him, you're out. You're good.
Okay, cool. Well, then I will fire my musket
Okay.
because I have 2 guns and it's awesome. 14.
14 will miss.
Damn it!
Jeez.
You have failed me, Pimur.
Hey, man.
you, but at the same time, you saved me, so we're even.
Thanks for considering it even. I saved your life.
Quercus, you are up.
Well, whilst Pimur was flailing around trying to hit this fake Trolloc, I was taking out my explorer pack, pulling out one of my torches and some flint and lighting the torch, and now I want to just throw the torch into the fake Trolloc in an attempt to kill him, because I'm fed up with trying to disable the thing.
So you judge me for using fire as a projectile, but when you use fire as a projectile, it's fine.
I didn't mind you using fire as a projectile to incapacitate him. I'm also getting to the point where I no longer consider this fake Trolloc just a fly that we can crush because it's 4 against 1. He's now taken down one of us and reduced my hit points by half. So I'm getting a little bit irked by him.
I need you to roll. It's a D20 plus 4,
Oh, 11.
and that's gonna miss.
Oh,
Shit.
Amena, you're up.
All right, I'm going back to the firebolts. Come on. Oh, come on. What is wrong
oh
with
no.
3?
You shoot the firebolt, and it misses. He's dodging out of the way, and now you can see small flames looking up at the grasses around his feet, as you might have just started a wildfire.
Shit. Can I push him into the wildfire?
Not on. Maybe your next turn you can try.
So natural ones don't mean that she loses the source. It just means that the spell goes awry. Or should I not ask that?
She's Whether your weave works or not doesn't necessarily mean you lose the source.
Okay.
The only big difference is if she gets hit, there's the concentration save because, you get smacked upside the head, you're gonna have to am I still with it?
Gotcha. Awesome. That makes me happy.
Right. Me too.
All right, so Lance, you're back around. You're still unconscious but stable. Trolloc is going to try again at Quercus and miss, and it is Pimur's turn.
Well, I guess that means it's time for an Arcana check to get the power. 13?
You make it.
Yes! Okay, so in that case, I am absolutely going to have to Ray of Fire 8. Shit.
Nope, you miss.
At least I got the power.
Yeah.
All right, Quercus, you're up.
Well, I will try and let Calocedrus do something because I've been woefully inept so far. So I'm going to try and let my eagle do the work for me. And Calocedrus has been just sitting in the forest nearby, wondering what on earth we're doing, and can sense that this is probably not a trolloc. Anyway, he's going to try and alight on the fake trolloc's head and claw at him, and therefore distract him. So.
Okay, let me look up the animal companion rules.
He can roll with, or has melee weapon attack, which is +4 to hit. So.
Oh, it does. Okay, so go ahead and roll that. Absolutely.
Yeah. It also says add my proficiency bonus to beasts' AC attack rolls and damage rolls. So +6, I guess.
It's not a bad roll.
17.
17 will hit.
Right. Unfortunately, the attack damage roll is only 1d4 +6. So.
It's still not bad.
Okay. Oh, sorry, +4, not 6. 8.
8 damage. Okay, he is looking really rough, but he is still on his feet. So as Calocedrus comes in and sinks her talons into the throaty neck area of the beast, you can hear a gurgled scream, and then as she beats her wings and takes off again, the head comes off. And standing there, you see a gruff man who's bloody and beaten, and he's got words carved or tattooed into his head, starting at one cheek and going up across his forehead and back down the other cheek, and there's blood running into his eyes, and he's just kind of flailing around. I need Pimur and Quercus to roll me perception checks.
18.
Nice.
Very perceptive. It's because I have the power, right? I'm observing everything really, intensely.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, that was a fake roll. I pressed 20.
I've never
It's a
heard
natural
of it.
zero.
Yeah, I've never heard of a D0. That's awesome.
+24, though. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, I got 20. Look at that.
Oh,
Nice!
yes.
A natural 20.
So Quercus can absolutely see, but Pimur also sees. They are words of the old tongue carved into his face. I need history checks from both of you now to see if you can translate it.
20.
Oh, girl.
Nice.
Dude, I mean,
Doesn't matter what I get now.
Apparently I pay attention in linguist class.
15.
Okay, so Pimur, you're looking at it and you're like, what the fuck? Because it says on his face, Darkontion Shadar, which is Old Tongue for Chosen of the Shadow. And that's where we're going to stop for tonight.
Oh, man.
Shadow?
Gruesome.
Chosen of the Shadow.
Agonor? Is Agonor on the scene again? This sounds very Agonor.
And that is where we close the book for now. Come join us next time on Just Roll With It.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Are you enjoying Just Roll With It? Do you want to keep up with all of the shenanigans and updates and maybe interact with us online? Follow us on Twitter at @just_roll or Instagram at @JustRollWithAPodcast with underscores between each word. Are you interested in maybe earning cool gaming dice or other awesome perks? Our Patreon is patreon.com/JRWI. We use Sirenscape for all of our sound effects and are a production of Fox and Raven Media.